are you doing, sir?
Good. How's it going?
Hey, man, it's so great. I am, first off, so glad to have you come on today because number one, I personally believe that that trip, that experience, that story that you can bring back from those trips is a form of self care. I know sometimes we think self care is just the makeup and the nails and all that kind of stuff, but it's more than that. So, I'm going to ask you though, before we get deep into the conversation, to take maybe about 30 seconds to just introduce yourself to our viewers and our listeners. Tell them who you are, what you're about, and a little bit about you. The floor is now yours.
Oh, thank you. So, my name's Tony Jefferson. Originally from Sumter, South Carolina. Now I live in Florida. I spent 21 years in the Air Force, most of it overseas, and 8 years in Japan, 3 years in Germany, a year in Korea. So I really developed a love of traveling. So that's what started me to start my business. But we'll get into that later. Me, I just love to travel, man. There's just so much about the world once you get out and actually see things. Is when you get to see things for yourself and you're not just watching it on TV or on a
Yeah,
reel. It's
I
something.
definitely understand that. Yeah, and you just said something, man, and I didn't even notice before when we spoke the first time. I know you mentioned we're both military men, Air Force, and so I was in the Air Force as well. And we talked about that, and then I went to Marine Corps. But you just said something else that just caught my eye as well. You said you're from Sumter. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and I
Oh
live
man,
in Myrtle. I live in Myrtle Beach right now. Yes, look at this, man.
yeah.
It's 6 degrees of separation, they say, and all that. So, man, yeah, I'm from Chucktown and Geechee and all that good stuff. So, look, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen, if I accidentally go into my accent, my Geechee accent, bear with me.
oh, trust me,
Woo.
my people from Monk's Corner.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna tell you a quick story, really quick. So, being in the service, like you said, we travel, we've been everywhere, and also I'm gonna come back to that. That's my ADHD brain. I lived in Japan as well for 6 years. I was stationed in Okinawa and then also
Yes.
mainland. Germany as well. I was at Ramstein. And I think, where else did you say I was at? Uh, you said something else. I can't recall it right now. But so it was a long time before I came back to Charleston to visit family, really. And my wife and everything's like, let's go visit your family. So we came back. I went to go order something and I was said, "Hey, can I get a number 10, please?" And she's like, "Okay, great." And so she like yelled back or whatever. She said, "Can I get a number 10?" And I said, "What?" I said, "Is that the same thing I ordered?" I was like, "Yeah, the number 10, right?" Yeah, number 10. I was like, "Oh man, it's good to be back."
Wow. People just don't know, man. It's that
Yeah.
familiar voice.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't know what we're talking about right now, you've never been to South Carolina area, to Charleston, Moncks Corner, Sumter, Florence, all those guys. You've never been here to hear that authentic Geechee talk, but you need to check out a movie. But anyways, I digress. So, um, you just kind of stated you were in the military, Air Force, and so forth, and then that's kind of how you got into your traveling business and so forth. So, I want to know, and we're going to mention it. You're traveling sessions.com. I'll make sure I get the name correct. So, ladies and gentlemen, hey, if you get an opportunity and you think about traveling, check out Traveling Sessions. I actually went and signed up and did your map where you can click for everywhere you've been and keep
Yeah.
kind of keep track of that. So that was really cool. I like that. So let's get into it. Out of the military, what is probably one of, or even in the military, where's one of your most interesting places that you've kind of been to that you would say is more memorable of a destination that you've been to?
Okinawa is probably the first one I always think of because that was the first place I actually lived overseas. I stayed there for 4 years, and Okinawa will just always have a special place in my heart.
I love that. When I was there, I was really young, so I didn't appreciate it. And then I went back when I was older, but I was stationed then in the Marine Corps in Iwakuni. So I was in the mainland portion there, which I loved even more. And the people, it's crazy because people say, if you didn't live here, where would you live at? I'm like, so two places I was. One, I was at Aviano in Italy. I was stationed there. And then I was like, I would live in Japan. I just loved it. It was so interesting. Um, Now,
So,
if you
so
get someone,
let me ask you this. So,
yeah,
this was my first experience about with Japan.
okay.
That the people were so nice. Did you ever have that thought where these people are so nice? What's wrong with me?
Mm. Wow, I didn't think of it that kind of way. You know, I had a thought, but it was different than that. So, but let me answer that first. I don't think I thought what's wrong with me because they were so nice. I thought, when is the shoe going to fall? Right? When are they going to change? Right? No, they can't be this nice.
And they didn't.
Right. And it's such a crazy thing, especially if you're not used to that. And you grew up in your hood, you grew up in your neighborhood, you grew up wherever you are, and especially in America. You travel to other places and you're like, wait a second. No, 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 no. This is, I saw that in a movie and I thought they were acting or something, but that's who they are.
Yeah,
They're genuine. And they're very, the culture to me was very laid back and it was more important about living life than the material stuff, than the fancy stuff, right? They took days off and they did calisthenics before work and all kind of stuff, and you're like, wait a minute.
oh, that lunchtime nap.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I
And
go
even
park
down
under
to
that
the,
tree. Yeah, man.
yeah, even down to the stairs, right? They take stairs more often than they would do elevators, but it was a culturistic kind of thing. And so, yeah, I absolutely love Japan. I ended up taking my aunt over there, and then my wife and son were going to make a plan to go once everything kind of gets back. So yeah, that's one place I definitely thought about, and I was like, yeah, they are just so humble and so nice. So, but I absolutely loved it. What is a place that you would suggest to maybe? Okay, here we go. Someone's listening to this episode, and they say, you know what, honey, I want to travel. I heard about this episode, and I'm just went to travelingsessions.com, and I want to travel one of these places. Where would be maybe two or three places that you would suggest if someone first would start with warm, right? Let's go warm because I know that's what I usually think. Do I want to go someplace warm or do I want to go someplace where some snow or stuff like that? So where's maybe one or two places that you would tell a client or potential client that's coming to you and say, "Hey, check this out."
Well, so and that was like the whole purpose of the website. It's hard to give travel recommendations if you don't know anything about the person. And I think most travel websites, they promote like the most popular places, but I would rather match you with the place that's right for you.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that right there. And so with that, and that's one of the things that I liked about when I went to your site. It was like, hey, pick this, tell me this, that, or the other, because it almost felt like you're trying to figure out what my interests are, what I am, trying to, and then you got to take into account some other things, right? Are you traveling by yourself? Are you, how old is the youngster if you do have a youngster that you're taking? And that was one of the things that we thought about because we went to Europe a couple of times now, right before everything kind of turned crazy with the pandemic and all that. And we were thinking about taking our son. We were like, I want to take him, but I thought he was too young at that point to appreciate what we were going to go see. And for me, it was like I wanted to enjoy that moment. So now he's 9, he's about to be 10, and now he's like, Dad, I'm old enough. I want to go see the Coliseum like you did, and the Eiffel Tower with Mom and all that. And I'm like, I don't know. Is he still young? Too young?
No, so my kids were everywhere I went. My kids were right on the hip with them.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they've been, I think there's they've got different. Some of them went on separate trips, but I think
Right.
none of them are less than 15 countries.
Whoa, see, that's the love. I love that.
So like they can, so like they can appreciate when things happen around the world. Like it's not like, so when like the Notre Dame caught on fire in Paris, like it wasn't like this imaginary building. They knew what it was.
Ooh,
Hey, we went there. So that was a,
that's a memory.
it's like a, they may act like they don't appreciate it, but
Yeah.
fundamentally they'll get something out of it. Is
Yeah. I really, really want to do that next for him because it's one of those things like I always tell him memories over money, right? Make those memories because I want him to be 35, 40 years old or whatever. And he tells his kids, hey, I remember when mom and dad used to take me to this lake or we went to this. And then it inspires him to maybe want to take his kids. So I love that portion of it. Yeah, so I'm going to ignore the age stuff now. But I think also one of the reasons why we did not take him is because we were going to Amsterdam as well. We went London, Paris, and then Amsterdam. And we
the
were
gift
at the red light district. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you my red light district story, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, if you're driving right now, you may want to just uh, pay attention to the speed limit. So, all right. So, first off, we start with the cool part. So we got to the hotel. It was really nice. We were over a lake, and then so we're like, hey, let's just go explore. Let's go walk. And we still at night, so we were like, the daytime we'll do the touristy stuff. So we're walking, and all we keep hearing is a little ding 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 the bell, and we didn't know that we were walking in the bike paths, right? So they have more bikes over there than vehicles. So all we kept ding ding. So that was our first thing.
Oh, and they is moving too.
Yes,
They are
it was
moving in those
cool.
bike lanes. I remember
Man,
we
they
went to
are.
Amsterdam, and I kept having to snatch my mom out of the bike lanes because I don't think they were stopping. Like, come on, mom.
Yeah, right. Then we finally figured it out. And they, when we got off the airport, though, the all of the taxis for us at this point were like Teslas and stuff. So it's really cool. They got that stuff. So now, here we go. We're going to the red light districts, and I'm gonna keep this just in case you have any kids in the car, ladies and gentlemen. I'll keep this PG-13 best as I can. So we got the map. And they told us where to go. We saw one of the people in red jackets, and we were asking them, "Hey, where's the red light district?" She's like, "Go down this way, make a left, and if you see this church, and be right." So all day we're searching. We're going. We're asking, "Where's the red light district?" Hey, go out, make a right, go into another store. Where's a? Finally, night came. We didn't know we were in the red light district, but it doesn't come alive until nighttime. But every corner has a like a sex shop. They're well open minded over there. A paraphernalia shop, a marijuana shop, and then a sex shop, and then a red light kind of window kind of thing right next to it, kind of. So we started to learn about that.
Yeah.
Oh man, and those are the kind of things my wife, we were like, whoa, it's crazy though. Okay, so what is a difference that you would think in your travels? Someone who's preparing mentally to try to travel, right? What is a suggestion that you would say, hey, you need to prepare mentally for the difference of our culture versus their culture? What is something you think you would tell them? Because I got an idea what I would tell them. What would you tell them?
I think it would depend. It depends on the place though, because it's
Yeah,
always different.
yeah,
Every place has its own little,
vibe and feel.
yeah, little vibe, feel, little different ways you need to maneuver.
Mm,
It's easy to figure out once you get there, but if you don't, it's hard to say without saying like specifically where. Like,
right.
let me see where you were going with it first.
Okay, so I would say probably the number one thing that I would tell someone that they need to look at differently or prepare for is to be more open minded because most places, their cultural differences are not as free spirited as most Americans, I would say, right? Even if it's something in a religious fashion or, you know, you can't, touch something or, they're very strict. So yeah, that's kind of what I would say is just be more open minded about their culture, about their, their traditions. Yeah.
I'm a fat boy.
Definitely.
I'm gonna say try the food. Try food
Food.
everywhere
Ah,
you go.
yes. Oh man, that was another thing too because we said to each other, we said, "Babe, we're gonna go and just try, even if it's an appetizer or just little something. We're open to it." Um, Sharing is something that we did because we didn't want to order something big and not like it, and then we ordered two of them, right? So we usually just ordered one big thing and shared it, and then if we liked it, we got like another. Yeah. Favorite city though? Favorite city or a place that you like to go for you, not for a guest.
My favorite destination is any place I've never been before.
Like that answer. Okay, yeah. So here's one place that I kind of want to go, but I don't know if I want to go there right away. I've been hearing a lot about Dubai. A lot of
I,
people have been saying that. Go ahead,
I
you were
haven't done
saying what?
Dubai yet, but I hear a lot
Okay.
about Dubai. That's on the
Yes.
list.
I've heard a lot of people say that, especially for African American culture, that we're accepted over there. Like there's love and everything for us. So I'm like, whoa, okay. And I didn't know that there was a difference in Dubai and Abu Dubai. Go ahead.
Abu Dhabi, yeah, they're it's two different. Well, from my understanding, Abu Dhabi is more like business centered. Like that's where you go to do business.
Yeah,
Dubai is where you go to like party. That's
yeah,
more like the touristy.
right. Exactly what I heard. Yeah,
Yeah,
and man, this is so cool. Like,
but but one thing you said how they were accepted. That's one thing. A lot, especially a lot of Black Americans need to. It's strange how like we're accepted like all over the world.
yeah,
Like I just there's so many places I just go and just like it's just love. Like
yes.
I tell people the story. I was in Crete in Greece, and I was in this little area where they had a bunch of different clubs, and I was just walking around listening, and all of them were playing techno. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So I went in this one. Before I could order my beer, DJ done switched to hip hop. The only black dude in this place immediately, and that's all they
Yes.
played. So I left.
Yes. And those are some of the things I'm thinking about when you say that. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is absolutely true. It I didn't feel, and Greece is one place we want to go. I have not been to Greece yet. We want to go to just because it's more of a from what I've heard, it's tourist style.
Oh,
Santoria,
Santorini. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Santorini. Yeah, that one because I saw the pictures of the blue top roof things, and so my wife wants to go there, and then the water. She saw the water. Oh, she loves that kind of stuff. So, but yes, you're absolutely right. It would feel so accepted. Is there any place that you would probably kind of disregard and tell someone maybe not to travel right now, or they need to prepare themselves a little bit more that you didn't like traveling to?
Um, I don't. There are places I like less than others, but I don't think there's any place I. There are places where I think I might not have been. It's not my time for that place. Like
Gotcha.
uh, Venice. Venice was. It wasn't my time. In my 30s was not my time to go to Venice because
Mm.
Venice is beautiful during the day, but if you're looking for any kind of nightlife, nah, nah.
Right? Yes. See, that's the kind of stuff right there. And I look at that too because Venice, I think, as soon as I hear it, that romantic gondola ride, that kind of stuff, and you would think that it has that nightlife. And kind of similarly, when you just said that to, I, and it's crazy because I've been there like 3 or 4 times. And the image that gives off of Paris, I've been to Paris 3 or 4 times, right? My wife, for the first time, I took her there, Paris is so dirty. It is. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But most big cities are. Outside of
Yeah,
Japan,
yeah,
most big cities are. This is
yeah.
that's just the truth of it.
When
And
you
I
put
mean,
it like that,
there has,
yeah,
I mean, definitely. I mean, it's not like the whole city. There's definitely nice parts.
yeah. When you put it like that, and I kind of sit back and think about it. I guess more so for me. Here's my thought on it. I think I was expecting something different because of the lore of movies and because of
Uh,
how it was built up. I think that's what it is.
so and that's
Yeah.
the most beautiful thing about travel to me is you get to see it for yourself and not listen to it secondhand and let somebody else tell you what. There's nothing better than
Mm,
seeing the world for yourself and not letting somebody else tell you what the world is like.
yeah. It absolutely is. And because then I just sat back and thought just now, I was like, well, if it was that dirty and so bad, why did I go back 3 or 4 times? Like, no, I loved it. I love Paris. Well, oh my goodness. One of the most, here's my Paris story. I've got stories all from them, right? Their subway system, when I first went there, was so confusing. I was I'm one of the people that I will travel by myself. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening and you got some friends and a girls trip and a guys trip and everyone can't make it and you want to travel, I say go by yourself.
Oh no, I'll tell you right now. When I say I'm going on a trip, you're invited. If you back out,
Yeah, right?
that doesn't mean I'm not going.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you you can check you can take my social media, you can see some of the pictures. I'll tag you in it. You be like, man, I should have went. Yes, you should have, right?
You're not going?
So
Okay, tough. I'm still going.
so I come out my hotel. Uh, I'm asking how to get to the Eiffel Tower. They tell me go down this train, and I'm. Long story short, I finally find the train. I get on the train. They told me maybe it's about 15, 20 minutes. So I'm going on the train. I'm looking and I'm in awe of everything because it's beautiful. And it's kind of crazy. I said it was dirty and stuff, but it's so beautiful. I'm looking like, whoa, what's this? I didn't realize I was on the train for about an hour. And then I got off and I was like, whoa, where's the Eiffel Tower? Because they told me I would see it as I was on a train. So I was looking. So I finally got off and I was like, hey, excuse me. Went into the little subway thing. Hey, where's the Eiffel Tower? They're like, in Paris? Yeah, 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 in Paris. No, you're not in Paris. What do you mean I'm not in Paris? wait, wait a second. What are you talking about? Yeah, you got to go back and go here. And I'm like, what? I was in a whole nother province, whole nother city, everything. Listen, but it was fun. I learned and yeah.
So we lived in Germany, and we used to do that a lot. Like, we just get in the car and just drive, and
Mm,
get off the autobahn and just like drive through like you drive through like these little villages in France, and you passing by these buildings that are older than anything in America. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yes. And it's crazy how like you'll see these things on maybe like maybe social media. Someone will put a picture and say something like, "This street was built in 300 AD and it's still great." And then here's a pothole in my city or something, right? Yes, the buildings still stand. My wife loves that kind of architecture stuff. She loves like how did they build it? And you scratch your head like, yeah, they didn't have these tractors and stuff. How did they build all this stuff? It's so crazy. Another thing I love doing when I go to different places, I love trying to learn bits and pieces of their language to speak to them. I found that they appreciate it, even if
Yes.
you can't say it correctly. They appreciate that. Oh, you're trying, and they see that because they have a different look about Americans. They think of us like, yeah. So definitely something I'm doing. So
I always
I
try, and I've slowed down the last couple of years. I've been doing more because I was out of the states for so long.
mm,
So now I'm trying to catch up on visiting places stateside.
yeah.
But I lived in Japan for so long, like I'd be trying to remember all these different languages, and I just default back to Japanese.
Oh yes, and
I think I
what's
was in
crazy
Puerto
is
Rico and I hit somebody with a bow. I was like,
yes, so this is crazy because even like the greetings of other places too, right? And the bow in Japan and everything, and we have the handshake kind of a thing here, and you would learn why they do that, and it's sanitary and respect, and I don't know where your hands been. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I started trying to do that when I came back to the States, and it didn't catch on. Nobody else did it, so they thought I was crazy. Like, dude, what you doing? Yo, what you doing? So, but I will find myself language switching. I call it every once in a while because I used to speak Japanese fluently, but every once in a while, if I'm in a restaurant and somebody else will start talking, I'm like, "Hi, dozo arigatou gozaimasu. Anata wa name Leon desu ka?" Oh, hold on, man. Wait, listen.
so it's weird. Like I forgot like almost all the Japanese I knew, but
Yes,
like every once in a while, like say I'm watching like an anime or something, and I'll notice I'm not reading subtitles.
right.
Like if I'm like not paying attention to it, but if I try to actively listen to it, I lose
Mm,
it. But if I it
yeah.
happened to me in the airport one time. I was sitting there with like my back turned, and there was some Japanese family behind me, and next thing I know, I was laughing along with them. I was like, "Oh, wait a minute!"
Uh, yes. Oh man.
When I
I,
tried to
I tr-
actively listen, I just couldn't. I just
yeah, you just catch up on it and just comes in. When you get around it, it kind of sometimes for me, anyways, I pick back up on it, and then I didn't learn to write. I learned to write kanji, but not the like ancient ones,
no,
the kind of
I,
modern kanji. I learned to
no.
write that a little bit, but so
Once
yeah,
they
man,
said it
these
was
things.
different ones, I quit.
Yeah, right. Even sometimes because I was stationed in South Korea as well, and Busan, and
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
hey,
I was in
yes,
Seoul, so but yeah, I
okay.
went to Busan. Yeah, Busan is nice.
Yeah. Listen, but there are so many things about some other places. I want to tell anyone listening to this today, you need to take some time and say, I am going on a trip. My cousins are getting ready to go to Africa, and I wasn't able to do it because of work this time. But I was like, oh, I would love to go there. I'd love to just be in that. eh, Here's one of the things that gets me, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap up here in a second. But here's one of the things that gets me is when I hear people who try to, I don't want to say actively stop someone else from traveling, but they automatically, oh, I wouldn't go to Africa because I heard this, or oh, I look in the movies and it's like this. South Africa is one of the beautiful countries in there. They're not some place where you see in the movies and everything's dilapidated. That's everywhere, like you said. That's everywhere in every city or whatever state. But I want to go there. I want to go on one of those safaris. And people are like, aren't you afraid that lions are going to get you?
But that's because
I'm still going.
people like to push their own fears on you. That's
Yeah,
why, like I said, that's another reason like why I started my website.
yeah,
It it's easier to try. It makes you feel more comfortable when you're getting travel recommendations from somebody who travels the same way that you want to travel.
mm, yes, yeah. And I think we spoke on that a little bit because, especially when you're, let's say, as African Americans, as a minority, as a whatever, and I don't even like using that word directly now, minority, because here's why. Because the I think we're programmed to think that way, as in the USA, but
Yeah.
worldwide, anyways. But as someone who looks like us, there are different perspectives, different styles of living, and when you hear that, you kind of say, "Oh wow, oh I never thought about that." So yeah, you're absolutely right. Hearing it from someone. So tell us a little bit about your website. Tell us how people who may be listening to this and they thinking, "I want to reach out. I want to maybe find a way of traveling." How can they do that with you?
Like I said, just go to the website, travelingsession.com, sign up. So the easiest way to think about it is a social media website that's focused on travel.
Okay.
But there's a whole lot more to it than that. But
Yeah.
that's the easiest way to think about it. So I mean,
Yeah.
so folks can go in there and they can share their travel videos and their photos, and they can write travel reviews. And one of the key things I think that we do that really separates us from everybody else is we'll give you your own personal score for that destination based off of what you like to
Okay.
kind of give you an idea of whether that's someplace you want to visit.
Yeah. I like that, and the way you're saying it, man, it just it resonates with me so much because you know, you go to one of these travel agencies, you go to somewhere to try to find out, and it's almost like you're the just cookie cutter. Hey, just give me your money, let me put you on a cruise ship, let me put you on a plane and go. But the way you're saying is like, hey, I want to make something for you, right? I want to make this recipe for you so that maybe you go, maybe you say Venice. Maybe someone says, I want to go to Venice. And you say, well, hey, you told me in a survey or something earlier that you're not looking into nightlife, so Venice is perfect for you,
Yeah,
right? Or you say, oh, I want to go for romantic, but I want to take her to tons of restaurants at night. Then you could probably say, hey, Venice isn't for you, right?
yeah.
So
It's like I said, once you like start, I put it the best way to put it. The reason why the very seed of the idea for the site came one day. My daughter came home from school and she said something about Bruges. I had never heard of Bruges, but I think she said something like, I can't remember, but she mentioned it. So like the next week we packed up and drove to Bruges. That city is so beautiful,
um,
and it's got the canals like Amsterdam, but it's not nearly as crowded. And
wow.
man, you can just get like a bucket of mussels and French fries, and just eat. Oh man, like garlic mussels. Oh man, it's so good. Like I had such a good time, but I had never heard of it. And if you go
Yeah.
to like these travel websites, they're gonna push you to like these bigger cities like Paris and Amsterdam, but nobody. So I
Mhm.
wanted to like show some love to like there are other places to travel.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a
You
lot of
don't got to
there's
go
a
to
lot
these
to
big,
see in the
huge
world.
places. Yeah. I'm definitely interested in that because I'm at that age now where my travel is more family oriented. So I want to just go someplace and chill. So Venice might actually be cool for me. 'Cause I'm not really big into the nightlife, stuff like that. I just want to do memorable things. And I would suggest to anyone out there to kind of do the same thing. Any parting words, any final things you may want to convey to the listeners and even the viewers who are watching?
No, my biggest thing is get out and go see the world. And there's a lot
Yeah.
to see out there. And visit our website. Like I said, I'm building this. There's nothing out there like it. So the biggest thing y'all could do to help me is provide feedback. I want to build a
Yeah.
platform that's for all travelers. So I'll make
Oh
sure I
man.
include everybody in it.
I love that. I love that. Thank you